Welcome back to our channel. If you're thinking about traveling or moving abroad, this video is a must-watch. Today, we're diving into the top 10 countries where Americans are not welcome in 2024. While many places around the world are known for their hospitality and welcoming nature, there are a few destinations where Americans might face challenges, cultural differences, or even outright hostility. From political tensions to cultural misunderstandings, we'll explore the reasons behind the unwelcoming attitudes and what you need to know before planning your next international adventure. Stay tuned as we count down these challenging destinations and provide insights into the experiences of Americans who have faced difficulties in these countries. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on global travel and expatriate experiences. Let's get started. 10. Myanmar. Myanmar, with a population just under 55 million, has been in turmoil since the military coup in February 2021. The political unrest and civil conflict make it a dangerous place for travelers, especially Americans. The U.S. government advises against travel to Myanmar due to arbitrary enforcement of laws and limited healthcare resources. The visa process is stringent, taking a minimum of 3 working days, and the U.S. sanctions on Myanmar further complicate travel. Americans visiting Myanmar face a maze of bureaucratic hurdles and safety risks, making it a less than ideal destination. 9. Yemen. Yemen, with around 30 million people, has been in a state of war since 2015, leading to a severe humanitarian crisis. The U.S. State Department has a do not travel advisory for Yemen due to risks of civil unrest, terrorism, kidnapping, and armed conflict. The visa process is extremely difficult, and the general hostility towards Americans, perceived as involved in the conflict, adds to the danger. Yemen's instability and hostility towards Americans make it an almost impossible destination for casual tourism. 8. Somalia. Somalia, home to about 15 million people, has a history of political instability and security concerns. President Biden's approval of U.S. troops redeployment to combat al-Shabaab insurgents in 2022 has not helped in improving relations. The visa process for Americans is extremely challenging, and the security risks, including terrorism and kidnapping, are high. The ongoing humanitarian crisis, with millions displaced, creates a backdrop where Americans are far from welcome. 7. Venezuela. Venezuela, with over 28 million people, has strained relations with the U.S. due to economic sanctions and political conflicts. The economic crisis has forced over 7.7 million people to flee the country. For Americans, obtaining a visa is complicated, and once in the country, they face a high cost of living and a tense atmosphere. The political and economic instability, along with the suspicion towards Americans, makes Venezuela an unwelcoming destination. 6. Libya. Libya, with a population of about 7 million, has experienced significant turmoil since the 2012 attack on the U.S. mission in Benghazi. The U.S. Department of State has a do not travel advisory due to crime, terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, and armed conflict. The visa process is difficult, and the Libyan government does not allow entry to passports with Israeli stamps, adding another layer of complexity. The strained U.S.-Libya relations and security concerns make it a challenging destination for Americans. 5. Syria. Syria, with its rich cultural history, has been overshadowed by civil war and conflict. The U.S. has a Level 4 travel advisory, citing risks of terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping. The visa process is extremely difficult, reflecting the strained relations between the two countries. Even if an American manages to enter Syria, the environment is hostile due to the ongoing conflict and suspicion towards foreigners. The U.S. involvement in regional politics further complicates the situation, making Syria a dangerous place for Americans. 4. Afghanistan. Afghanistan, with about 38 million people, has been a hotspot of geopolitical tensions. The U.S. Department of State advises against travel due to terrorism, wrongful detention, kidnapping, and crime. The visa process is daunting, requiring a valid passport and Afghan visa, with severe penalties for arriving without one. The presence of multiple terrorist groups makes Americans prime targets for kidnapping and wrongful detentions. Afghanistan's complex visa process and high security risks create a highly unwelcoming environment for Americans. 3. Iraq. Iraq, with a population of around 40 million, has a complicated history with the U.S., starting from the 2003 invasion. The visa process for Americans is difficult, requiring about 12 working days to process. The security situation is precarious, with reports of torture and the presence of various armed groups. The unstable environment and the challenging visa process make Iraq an inhospitable place for American travelers. 2. Iran. Iran, with 83 million people, has had strained relations with the U.S. since the 1979 hostage crisis. The U.S. State Department has a Level 4 travel advisory due to risks of terrorism, civil unrest, and arbitrary arrest. The visa process is lengthy, taking 1 to 3 months, and once in Iran, Americans cannot use international credit cards and must carry cash. Despite its cultural charms, the political complexity and potential for detention make Iran a risky destination for Americans. 1. North Korea. North Korea, with around 25 million people, has a chaotic relationship with the U.S., marked by decades of political tensions and nuclear threats. The U.S. has banned its citizens from traveling to North Korea since 2017 due to the risk of arrest and long-term detention. The visa process requires going through a specialized travel agency and being part of a tightly controlled tour group. The strict rules about interactions and photography, combined with the potential for severe consequences, create an environment of extreme caution. The allure of the forbidden might tempt some, but the risks make North Korea an unwelcoming and dangerous destination for Americans. Conclusion: traveling to these countries as an American in 2024 poses significant risks due to political tensions, security concerns, and challenging visa processes. While each country offers unique cultural and historical experiences, the potential dangers often outweigh the benefits. It's crucial for American travelers to heed government advisories and understand the complexities involved in visiting these destinations.